Yes, you're quite right, Erender. It is probably a better idea just to have a nap here, because it's still pretty cold out there. It's almost morning, and yeah, Khajiit is so sleepy she's not thinking clearly. But even that bench, well, maybe not the one that's upside down, but this bench looks very good. She's going to sit on this bench and have a nice nap. She hopes you will do the same. Let's sleep for about 5 hours. That should make us mostly functional, especially once we have breakfast. Good morning. I mean, not that it wasn't already morning, but... Oh, Khajiit is... is she sitting upright? Yeah, she is. She's sitting upright. Okay. Right, Right, breakfast. Khajiit's brain is not working. It hasn't woken up yet. So she thinks she'll have some baked potatoes, some cooked beef. Oh yes, that sounds very good. Downstar gravlox? No. She needs something that will wake her up. No, honey nut treat, maybe the sugar will kind of, jumpstart her or something. Maybe. Okay, let's go. We will go to Downstar. We have a few things to do. Actually, Erender, Khajiit was thinking about this just before she drifted off.
You return.
She never told you, but she heard Vermina. When you were sending the staff, or the skull thingy away, she heard Vermina's voice. Does that like happen often, here? I mean, do you hear Mara now? Did you hear Vermina before? You don't really want to talk about it. Okay. Khajiit can respect that. Oh, speaking of staffs...
Mara, protect us both.
I was thinking...
Running out of room, eh? I'll be glad to help.
That... Seeing as you're a mage, pretty much like me, well, not exactly like me, but... Khajiit, if she can get her brain functioning, thought that perhaps you might like one of the staffs she's been carrying. And so she thought that perhaps she would give you those, because she's always forgetting to use them herself. And she thought perhaps you might prefer to use them.
I'm ready. Let's continue.
So, but we can see how that goes. In fact, it'd be a really good idea if you used magic and your staff. Because like me...
I'm ready. Let's continue.
Like I said, not quite like me. I can use a bow, but... Well... As you said last night, early this morning before we had our sleep, you're not really that good at it, so... The bow or the axe. One-handed. See, Khajiit is not awake yet. Maybe the cold will snap her out of it. Let's go. Let's go.
May our steps move in harmony.
Oh, yeah. It's... At least... Well, it's still snowing, but at least it's not blizzarding. I guess, we should be thankful for small mercies, yes? You guys coming?
I grew up in the Pale. This land was my home for most of my life. And for a Dunmer, that's quite a statement, I assure you.
Wow. Khajiit didn't know Dunmer, had been around here so long. But I guess that makes sense, because how long has it been since that volcano erupted in Morrowind? 200 years, something like that? I mean, Khajiit doesn't know a lot about it, she just know it happened. And it was long before she was born. Actually, it was before my Aunt Shirza was born either. Maybe even before, Aunt Shirza's mother. My grandmother was born. You know, this would be a much nicer place if it weren't so cold. Alright. Oh, there's a dock down there. Do you see that? Maybe we can take a boat to Morthal. That would save some time, wouldn't it? Yeah? But we need to visit the Jarl. Hopefully he's up. The Jarl's sleeping. Where'd you guys go? We don't have to take the long way around, you know.
The will of the gods is evident. Varninia's influence will inspire the people.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. There's a new museum opening up in Dawnstar. The owner is asking me to hand out invitations to travelers.
Interruptions.
Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Thank you, Mr. Courier, who interrupted quite rudely, for the letter. And, Kodojo. Yes, we did intervene. Hopefully you're right that it was in time before it corrupted, the people here. Actually, Khajiit didn't really think that it would corrupt the people. She thought it might just drive them nuts because they couldn't sleep properly for days and days and days and days. Okay. I will... I've got a letter.
No, he isn't. He's the enemy.
Hmm?
We are going to crush him.
Drafted into a war. How could my life get worse?
Marital spat? Yeah, Khajiit thinks she will not get involved in that. Right. Yes, this is the right place. We will see the Jarl. And, well, actually, maybe she'll quickly take a look at that letter she just got before she forgets about it. He said it was for something in Dawnstar. Khajiit really wasn't listening to him. She was trying to listen to you, Kodojo. Here it is. Let's see. Silas Visuius presents The Museum of the Mythic Dawn, a history of the cult that toppled the Septim Dynasty. Inside his very own home in the great capital of the Pale, Dawnstar, free and open to all citizens of Skyrim. Well, Khajiit doesn't know if she counts as a citizen yet, seeing as she just arrived here a month ago, but she will go in and maybe stop there, if only to be polite, since he seemed to send a letter specifically to her, which is actually kind of puzzling. Right, we need to... I wanted to talk to someone who's not here.
Mara, protect us both.
Actually, all three of us. But, Oh, well, she'll look for the mage in a moment.
I'm Skald's housecarl, and head of his guard in Dawnstar.
We've met.
I've been in charge of Dawnstar for over 35 years.
My only aim is to keep the peace.
Maybe you can,
The nightmares in Dawnstar have lifted, and I hear you helped that happen. You have my thanks.
You're extremely well informed, and, yes, Khajiit appreciates the thanks, actually. She did not expect you to really care what she'd done. But, she just wanted to let you know that, in addition to Frost Flow Lighthouse, there is a lot of, freshly deceased people, which are unfortunately bonkers, in the, temple. So, you probably want to send someone there so that they can get proper burials. There's a lot of orcs, and there's the priests that were there, but they all deserve a decent burial. It's not their fault that they were driven mad. So, anyway, Khajiit thought she'd let you know, before a necromancer hears about this and kind of moves in and has a bunch of test subjects. You might want to, get a patrol or whatever it is you do. Yeah, you're just staring at me. Okay. Khajiit will leave that in your experienced hands. 35 years of experience.
Don't bother me again unless it's important.
Skald is very vocal about his hatred of the Empire.
Yeah, she heard that and...
Not as dumb as you look.
The tenacity of the Imperial Legion is legendary. We need to be ready for him.
Khajiit is not going to say anything because he thought that was flattering or something, and it just made Khajiit want to bite his arm or something. Well, I don't see the mage here. She kind of thought she'd see her here. Unfortunately, Khajiit has forgotten her name. She kind of want. Oh well, if he's heard, hopefully she's heard that we've fixed things in at the temple. I guess everybody must have finally fell asleep at dawn, like we did, and that made them realize that something good had happened. Although how they knew Khajiit and Quadojo and Arender were responsible for it is a puzzle. No, that's not the end.
Rustley, I've been wondering. Maybe after the baby is born, we should move to Hammerfell.
I'm not against the idea, but why?
I'm just worried about raising a child in the middle of this war of yours.
Not to mention the freezing cold.
War of mine. It's not my war, Sarah.
Your people's war, I mean. The Nords. What kind of life would we be giving our little one if we stayed here?
Well, let me think about it.
Maybe she will visit the smith first. She has a little, a bit of excess stuff to get rid of.
I helped my husband Rustleif run the forge. He's a marvel with steel.
Don't suppose you...
I married Rustleif when he was in Hammerfell, apprenticing under my father.
Ah, that explains why you don't like the cold here. What can you tell Zahjira about Dawnstar?
Not much. I came here a few years ago from Hammerfell when I married.
Ah, yes.
The land is beautiful, but I can't stand this cold.
Me too.
I don't know how Rustleif manages it.
Oh, maybe being born here helps? You come from Hammerfell. I think you might be the first person Khajiit has ever met. They came from Hammerfell.
That's right. Home of the Red Guards. The land of sand and seas.
Oh, sounds lovely.
I hope one day I'll convince Rustleif to take us back there. Until then, I'm content running the forge together here in Dawnstar.
Well, hopefully you'll get your wish. And hopefully it won't make him unhappy, but I guess that's what married life is all about. Or so Khajiit has been told. What?
The finest weapons and armor.
What have you got for sale? As she was going to say. Let's see. Oh. What kind of, a bow is that? Now, I have a nice... Oh! Khajiit did not mean to do that. Wow, Khajiit guesses she's buying a new bow. It is a very pretty bow. I mean, she was considering it. She just hadn't quite intended to, you know. Ah, well, impulse purchases. That's what it's all about, yeah. Life wouldn't be so exciting if you didn't have impulse purchases. No, that's a little too expensive today for Khajiit. Perhaps you'll buy some of Khajiit's, things? Well, thank you very much.
We forge every day if you need anything.
Well, thank you. Khajiit was actually hoping you'd have orcish or dwarven arrows, but she will admit that bow is pretty nice. She's got to enchant it now, but it is pretty nice. And actually, she's going to disenchant that, she thinks, at some point here. Yeah. Very nice. She really likes it. And it would be even better if she was using something other than her expensive arrows. Right.
Mara, protect us both.
Indeed, Ender. So. Right. Let's go to the inn.
Imperials think us all lawless beasts.
And we're...
Proof of their ignorance.
I just would like to see if we can find the court mage. Perhaps she's having breakfast here.
Our hero claims a warrior's heart. I tell you, the Dragonborn comes with a voice-wielding power of the ancient Nord art. Believe, the Dragonborn comes. It's an end to the evil of all Skyrim's foes.
She's not that good. But Khajiit doesn't want to say that to her.
For the darkness has passed, and the legend yet grows.
She's not here.
You'll know,
Excuse, Erender.
The Dragonborns come.
You are neither transparent nor incorporeal, so Khajiit cannot get past you. Thank you very much. Khajiit appreciates the moving. Okay, well, Khajiit doesn't know why she thought she'd find her here, but but she does actually want to talk to her.
Something?
No, I don't. Thank you for asking. Okay, she'll look back here one more time since we did make one stop before we got back here. Oh. Oh, darn, I thought that maybe it was her leaning against the post. Well, this is... Actually, there's an enchanting table right there. Khajiit kind of forgot about it. But where?
I grew up in the Pale. This land was my home
If
for
you
most
know
of
any
my
true
life.
sons and daughters of
And for a
Skyrim,
Dunmer,
tell them to head
that's
to
quite a
Windhelm.
statement, I assure
Ulfric
you.
Stormcloak wants to see them.
Okay.
You return.
She will tell people that want to go to join the Stormcloaks to see Ulfric. Yes, okay. We are going to disenchant that. And because we're going to put that on something eventually, but she doesn't think she's going to do it right now. She is, however, going to enchant this and create it. Excellent. She needs to get a better soul gem. But now we have a replacement bow that's better than the old bow, and it looks pretty spiffy too. If Khajiit does say so herself. Alright. Let's see. I guess we'll go and stop at that museum to be polite, if nothing else.
The Imperialists think we need their laws.
Khajiit actually is a little bit curious, but she knows that you really can't hang about for too long. And we're going to look to see if we can find a boat.
So you can cast a few spells. Am I supposed to be impressed?
You can quit.
Actually, yes. You should be impressed. Khajiit's impressed. She's doing quite well with her spells.
Ancestors wouldn't want this, Silas.
Why should I hide from it?
Silas.
This is my family's legacy.
It's the past. Dead oaths on dead lips. Let it stay there.
The museum is opening, Medina.
Ah, this is the right place.
I'm here to lend my magic to the people of Dawnstar.
Yes!
I beg you, don't go into Silas's museum.
I was looking for you. Who is Silas, And what is this museum? Khajiit got a pamphlet of some sort.
Silas comes from one of the oldest families in Dawnstar. They have a complicated history. Several of his ancestors belonged to the Mythic Dawn, the cult that almost destroyed Tamriel. His family's involvement was only found out well after the crisis had died down, but it still ruined their reputation.
Ew.
They were outcasts. And now Silas is back, and this museum to the Mythic Dawn is his way of trying to rebuild his family's pride. It's misguided.
Why, if it's just about history? The Mythic Dawn? That kind of rings a bell. Not a very loud one, though.
Not a student of history, I see.
Well, not that.
It's for the best. They're a group that should be forgotten.
Okay.
The only thing you need to know is that they almost destroyed the world, and they were stopped a long time ago.
Okay. Khajiit? Well, actually, she's not gonna say anything more. She will tell you that she, if you hadn't noticed already, Khajiit with Quadojo and Erender have fixed the nightmare problem that was plaguing Dawnstar. Since Khajiit is from the college, she just wanted to let you know that the college did look after the problem, like you'd hoped.
That museum is a mistake.
Okay, Khajiit understands.
All right, then.
Bye.
You've stopped.
And here comes my first visitor. The Museum of the Mythic Dawn is open, friend.
A courier gave Zahjira this invitation.
And here you are. Good. Come in, browse the display and let's talk. I have a job you look perfect for.
Now Khajiit is curious, although she is kind of...
Let's talk inside.
Doing a job. Actually, something more important than just a job right now. But, alrighty then. Let's go inside, guys, and see what this fellow wants. I hope he's not expecting Khajiit to do anything right away. Because she won't be able to.
Feel free to look around. Come talk to me when you're ready to discuss that job I mentioned.
Right then.
The tapestries hung here and outside were found in hideouts, where members of the Mythic Dawn would meet and plot. The cult's greatest accomplishment was the assassination of the Septim Dynasty and the opening of the Oblivion Gates.
I don't know if I'd call that a great accomplishment, but it was certainly
Mara protect us both.
Indeed, especially in this place. I see you have a good start for your museum. It's cozy.
Those robes were worn during the Mythic Dawn's secret meetings, where they plotted to bring the Daedra Mehrunes Dagon into Tamriel. Each bolt of yarn used to make the robe was colored with a dye, made from sacrificial blood.
From what? Or whom? Ew. Khajiit was going to say she likes the gloves, and she thought the robes looked pretty nice too, but, not if they're made with blood. Ugh.
That burned paper is all that remains of the fabled Mysterium Xarxes.
A book?
A blasphemous book written by Mehrunes Dagon himself. It's said that Mankar Cameron used the book to open a portal to a paradise, where all his followers would live forever.
Really? Daedra wrote a book, and we have one page from it, but wow, I didn't know Daedra wrote books. I mean,
ah, yes. That scabbard. Notice the insignia?
Yes.
An Oblivion Gate. A key symbol of Mehrunes Dagon, the patron Daedra of the Mythic Dawn.
Oh. So they were kind of like the fellows at Nightcaller Temple. Following a particular Daedra, who got up to all sorts of asshattery, and were stopped, yes?
The commentaries on the Mysterium Xarxes were written by the Mythic Dawn cult leader, Mankar Cameron. He promised a paradise awaited his followers when they died, that they would be reborn by Mehrunes Dagon's side.
Were they? Or I guess maybe you wouldn't know. Oh. Khajiit would love to read those. Yeah, but she has a feeling you'd be a little annoyed if she opened the case. It is a museum after all, and typically you're not supposed to touch things in a museum. Right? Well, to be quite honest, Khajiit is not quite sure she wants to ask him what the job is. It doesn't sound urgent. Not like the nightmares that we had to deal with, but Khajiit guesses she'll be polite and ask. Sir, you said something.
Did you have any questions about the museum? Or would you rather talk business?
Tell Zahjira about this Mythic Dawn cult, more than what you just told her.
They were worshippers of Mehrunes Dagon, the Daedric Lord of Destruction and Change.
Aha.
The Mythic Dawn killed Uriel Septim VII and his heirs, triggering the events that led to the Oblivion Crisis, when the Daedra invaded Tamriel.
That was not a good time,
All that
she
remains
hears.
of the infamous cult, I've gathered in my museum.
I grew up in the Pale. This land was my home for most of my life.
You must have some particular reason for opening this museum, no?
It's no secret that my family were once members of the Mythic Dawn. One of my forefathers was even chosen to assassinate Uriel Septim himself.
Lovely.
We hid from our past for years, became tradesmen, people of coin and influence. But I realized that the Mythic Dawn's importance, our importance, to history cannot be denied. I'll see everyone in Tamriel remember that for a moment, we held the fate of the world in our hands, for good or ill.
Khajiit is going to bite her tongue. We should speak of this job you want done, no?
A little history first. After the Oblivion Crisis, a number of groups cropped up dedicated to wiping out the remnants of the Mythic Dawn.
Imagine that.
One of these groups found Mehrunes' razor, the artifact of Dagon. They split it into 3 fragments and pledged to keep them apart forever. That was almost 150 years ago, and the pieces are still being kept by the descendants of that group, and they're right here, in Skyrim.
Are they now? Khajiit sees where this is going. She's not particularly interested. It was broken up, and it was probably broken up for a good reason. From what Khajiit has very recently seen, Daedric artifacts are not something to play around with.
Fine. I can't force you to help me, but the offer is open.
No, you can't force me. But the Khajiit will keep it in mind should she ever have a particular reason?
I'll just be tending the museum if you need me.
Of course. Have a good day, sir. Khajiit hoped she wasn't rude, but she really does not want to. We just got rid of one Daedric artifact in Skyrim. We do not want to put together another one. That just does not sound like a good idea. Alright.
Even a destructive force, such as Meirun's Dagon, has a purpose. These pieces of the Mythic Dawn show us how tenuous our lives are.
Khajiit already had a feeling her life was pretty tenuous. But thank you for unsettling her further. Well, I guess, we should go and look and see if we can get a boat, shall we? Unless you want to warm up a bit more before we head out. It is so cold out there. Is it warmer in Morthal? Do you know?
Say, Khajiit is curious. Did you like her video? Yes? Then please click the thumbs up button. Khajiit thanks you. Brrr.